All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
We want to start out by giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to all the Akim out there pushing the word of sincerity and the truth. It's the brother Barzal. Yeah, so we just want to do a lesson in regards to things that are heating up, through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. We see right now we're in a time of aggressive boilover, in all facets. If you look at the economy of America, if you look at the contentions, which the scriptures speak about, wars and rumors of wars of these different enemy nations of the United States of America that also were once allies. If you look at just everything, all in all, pertaining to prophecy, you see that this thing is constantly elevating. The scriptures, as we read, is really popping out in our faces. It was a time where, a lot of individuals, they felt like this truth was something that was dormant, or what do they call it? Like it was like what they call a baby that's stillborn, just still not being not any type of real progressions, nothing popping in their face, so they felt like they had license to scoff. We dealt with a lot of scoffers within our early years in this walk as brothers within Great Millstone, and we still deal with scoffers, but nonetheless, a lot of scoffers really been as it is written, whose mouths must be stopped. So we really want to just go in the spirit of touching on a few points, a couple of current events, all according to the scriptures. Because even if you look at, which we was talking about through the spirit about the love of many waxing cold the other day, a few of us brothers, which that word cold in the and I think in the Greek it goes into psycho. There's been a lot of psychopathic ways these people have been acting towards each other. They've been deleting each other in some of the most heinous ways. Mother against daughter, father against son, wives. I've seen a situation where this woman actually deleted her boyfriend in front of pretty much the whole family. So the ingredients of America is pretty much a recipe for disaster. And you can't work around it. That's why in the times that we living in now, our bread and butter is to get right with Yahweh Shema Shah. Purge our old ways, purge our old mentalities. Like the scripture says, doing the work of the evangelist, as it is written also, watch as well as pray. We have to keep our eyes dead set on the goal, because even Satan, which the elder Tazawam out in Milwaukee was speaking about in the live, Satan pretty much being a tester of our integrity. He's really looking to pull the ones, the misfits, or the it's another term that the apostles always speak about, but the undesirables out, because there is going to be a great sifting. So us brothers, we have to really be, as is written in the Colossians, being rooted and built and established, making sure our mental is aligned with the times that we living in, not being too thrown off with the bullshit of the world, the gimmicks of the world, because all these things is a distraction. If you are really in the spirit, you see, this whole thing with the tariffs, you see things is really charging up, and we all are familiar with America today is not going to be the same America tomorrow, as a figure of speech, which is really literal, or because every day you see some new shit. At this point, more legislations being passed. You're seeing like the scriptures speak about in Ecclesiastes, and I just want to speak on a few topics, because it's going to be a short lesson, but I definitely wanted to hit in details of so much stuff that's going on, as far as the pricing, of course, the food industry, the medical industry. The medical industry is starting to be sideways. These different. Oh, you want to say something?
I was just to land back or add to you, Zaquan.
Mm-hmm.
There's a big push for science right now.
Big push for science.
Every time you listen to radio,
Mhm.
these podcasters and stuff. And if you listen closely, the people are they're really honing in on the word science.
Mhm.
You know, they'll have
AI?
AI. You know, exactly. The AI. You know, it's a real big push to that technocracy, that whole digital realm that Esau want everybody to go to.
And they got Nate stuttering.
Yeah,
They got you.
yeah,
They got
yeah.
you stuttering,
You're on that
Jack.
hot seat.
You on that hot seat.
Mhm.
You getting pressed by it. You getting pressed because you cannot say that this device isn't going to be one of the, which it is now. This device is one of the most pivotal things of our future, which really we're living in the future now. So without further ado, you know, we'll get some pre's, you know, through the spirit. Start with that Revelation 12 and 12, Baba Kashar.
Okay, this is the book of Revelation, chapter 12 and verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them.
Mm-hmm.
Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea,
Mm-hmm.
for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
Yep. So it says, woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil, which the devil means the deceiver or liar, is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. So it's saying the devil has come down unto you. Don't these pastors and these religious folk say that the devil is somewhere in hell waiting on you to die, and for him to stab you up with pitchforks and, you know, torment you forever?
Mm-hmm.
Why is he coming down? You got to make it make sense, because if you, according to you individuals, y'all try to say that the devil was cast out of the heavens during the time of Genesis, but right here it's saying that the devil is going to come down. So which one is it? You guys don't know. You err not knowing the scriptures. This is talking about the so-called white man through the governments. All right, putting that epic squeeze, aggressive squeeze. The brother Shamak did a lesson about student loans. You know, I haven't watched it yet, but that's an example. And he spoke about the squeeze. That's an example of the government pressing you. You know, we're gonna start getting more and more pressed by this devil. He's putting more nefarious legislation within the books that's trying to forbid us from teaching this truth. Hey, you just had IUIC that just got banned from France. That's an example of the devil coming down, not allowing this word to be, and they're not fully teaching the truth. But the point that I want to make is Israelites, you know, not allowing individuals that teach according to the context of, and they don't fully teach in the context of the scriptures, but you get the point. You know, in the, about Israelites, the information of knowing that you are a Hebrew Israelite, Esau is not allowing that. You know, he's trying to cut that, cut our realm of existence off. You know, because he has an agenda, and he knows that we already know his agenda. The scriptures speak about in Revelation 2 and 20. I think 7, anoint thy eyes with eye salve that thou mayest see. So we see things clearly, and that's why we could tell you. It ain't like we just speculating or before we cut on the camera we was brainstorming what this devil made. We know what he gonna do. We know in part and we prophesy in part. It's still some stuff that we really don't have the full, you know, grasp to, but nonetheless, we know. We know this chip will be a major push from the federal government, just like the stabbing jab. You said you had something?
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him.
You want to speak on?
Yeah, so, you know, that devil, that's talking about Esau, Edom.
Yep.
You know, when you look at it in the scripts, it's a capital D in devil,
Yep.
and a capital S in Satan. And it says deceive the whole world. When you go to Revelation, the 20th chapter, it talks about how he came out of the bottomless pit, which is Europe. You know, the Lord had him chained down, you know, in shackles for a period of time in the Dark Ages, and he came out of that state, that lowly state, to deceive the whole world, man.
Yep.
And now the whole world basically worships this devil and his system,
Yep.
which is the revival of the Roman Empire, ancient Roman Empire.
Drunk off that American wine, which is the philosophy, you know, because he's gonna make a philosophy even out of taking that digital all, you know, and he's gonna sell you through fear. That's why this man is coming down. So if you look at the legislations and the policies Trump is passing, he already passed things where the TSs or the LGBTQ are unqualified or disqualified from performing, which is a rightful thing. But nonetheless, that the ability to have freedom of choice, freedom of decision, even Esau's gonna crack down on that. You see the thing with the illegals. A lot of these immigrants, which the bishop had posted, these children are gonna have to start representing themselves within immigration court. You know, how can a child represent themselves if they don't know what they call it, legalese? You know, if they don't have the ability to actually read read or understand law. You know, because that's a whole other language in itself to understand that. You know, they have their own. That's why you have a Black's Laws Dictionary. They have their own definitions. They have their own way of putting things. But you got it.
Just a couple real quick precepts. Job 9:24. The earth is given unto the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. You know, the judges of the Israelites. If not, where and who is he? So that the wicked, that is Esau, Edom, starting with you know, his elite bankers. And just to back you up, Zaquan, with Daniel 8:25, because you spoke on that policy. It says, and through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. You know, that's talking about, you know, how the devil, we started out with Revelation 12:12, you know, that the devil knoweth that he has but a short time. He's putting the squeeze on the whole, basically the whole world through his policy, his legal, you know, Elder spoke on legalese, you know, through his all, you know, the Constitution, all these things, man.
Yeah, he's pretty much like, it was a general that said he's pretty much a hammer, and he's looking at the world as a nail. You know, Scripture speak about in Isaiah the 14th chapter, how is the hammer of the whole world being broken asunder. So the Lord is chopping that hammer down, you know, because we are likened unto a hammer, as in the book of Isaiah. I should, my people shall be as a hammer, you know, and one hammer is going to be stronger than the next, and we are the ones that's crushing this place through this doctrine, you know. So this devil is going to try some different alternatives. We know about pressure from above, pressure from below. What is it? Hegelian dialectics, you know, problem, reaction, solution. So he needs a problem. He needs a major problem. You just had this thing that took place in Texas with the stabbing, which you got the good old boys ready to hang some Negroes on some gallows, man. So that the tension is there. The industries losing their power and it all being pretty much absorbed by the federal government. That's there, you know, and this man actually stockpiling on weaponry to use against the federal, to use against these different American citizens. That's definitely has been in talks, and we see that he's gonna have no choice but to do so. You know, you had certain operations where the government actually would train their military men to pretty much know how to come against civilians. That's why you have sound weapons and things of that nature. But you got it.
I just continuing on in Daniel 8:25, he said, and he shall magnify himself in his heart. You know, scriptures speak about how in the book of Daniel, more stout than his fellows. You know, talking about America.
That's America.
That little horn being more stout than his fellows, man.
You
And
see
that's
it.
that little horn is speaking real loud and clear right now, you know, through Trump and Nero, you know, being Trump being Nero coming back.
But yeah, unfortunately, I have to close. You know, we're gonna have to close through the Spirit. Did you finish that?
I'll finish out. And,
Okay.
and by peace shall destroy many.
Yep.
He shall also stand up against the prince of princes,
Mhm.
but he shall be broken without hand.
Yeah, so he's gonna lose that power, man. That power seat that he was coveting, you know, thinking that he was gonna stand in the position of forever. The scriptures speak about how he you know, he thinks he's gonna rule forever. The Lord is gonna cut him off short. You know, like I said, unfortunately, I had to go to work, so we would have, you know, extended it, but we hit the points through the Spirit, you know. So with that, we're gonna end it by giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostle and elders of the great millstone. Shalom, Akim.
Shalom.